Hello and welcome to the show. We have got another vehicle to take around our Hot Wheels circuit. Unlike the BMW that I built expecting it or hoping that it would go well, this Gremlin I expect to be quite the handful. I'm not sure this is going to be massively drivable, although, let's face it, we have thought vehicles are going to struggle, cars like the Dart, and they've actually gone very, very fast. So, I mean, there's some potential, possibly, with the AMC. It's certainly not going to be, I say certainly not going to be in the handling departments. I very highly doubt it is going to be in the handling department. It's all going to be about the speed, because let's face it, there's likely to get a lot of power in this car. We will be having the Forza Aero parts, first of all, because I want all of the downforce. We can, if we have the PI, we might go back and take off the chrome to save some weight. You can also have the various different bonnets. You can also have the blower on the top. At the moment, that would be very much a fake one, although we may well have a supercharged engine by the end of it. So, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if we've got the PI, because I think it's slightly lighter than the standard bonnet and so on. We'll come and have a look at towards the end of the build. Now, tyres, naturally, vehicles are having to be run on the race compound, and that will jump our PI up a fair old amount, actually. Up into B-class already. We're going to get 245 front tyres. It's not too terrible. We are... Ooh. We are going to get some really big tyres. 305s on the rear of this car. I mean, that's promising. That means that we might just be able to actually put the power down in the Gremlin. We might be able to use the power that it has. That's better than I was expecting. I was expecting, you know, maybe 255s, 265s at the rear. And don't bother with any of that stuff, actually, because we will probably be swapping the engine. I'm fairly confident we'll be swapping the engine out in this one. We will, of course, though, be getting some race brakes, some race suspension, various anti-roll bars, full roll cage on here. It's not going to have the best chassis, that's for sure. And weight reduction down to £2,500. Pretty good. It's pretty good on the old weight front. Now, power-wise for this vehicle, the standard engine is pretty pants. We're not going to get it to the top of S1 class. Quite frankly, I'm not even going to bother wasting time trying to mess around with that, because it's never, ever going to get the power to do it. I mean, these are adding, what, 20 horsepower with a supercharger. It's not going to be enough. So, our options for engines are the 6.2-litre V8, lighter than the standard engine, or we can go for the 7-litre Hemi engine. Is quite a heavy engine, let's face it. An interesting, fun engine, nevertheless. A lot of torque from the Hemi, or we can have the 8.4-litre V10. Now, my small concern here is the 6.2 is putting out 415 horsepower. The V10 is putting out 640, and there is not much PI difference in them. Now, that suggests to me that this vehicle is in trouble in terms of handling. If the PI is being made so little difference by, well, over 200 more horsepower, I think we might be screwed. However, we're just going to shove the V10 in it. I'm not quite sure how the V10 would fit, but apparently it does, and I'm going to put a supercharger because I want a supercharger on my car. We are going to be wheel spin central, I fear. Oh, I know why. I've just realised why, potentially, the engine's powers aren't making a difference. A gearbox. I bet that's a big part of it. Yeah, that'll do it. So much, much better with this, because I'm not sure I trust the standard. I say the standard gearbox, not sure I trust any of the gearbox. We will go for full race gearbox to make sure we've got everything sorted in that. Still, that being said, well, the gearbox, of course, will make a big difference. We've still got plenty of PI to work with in the Gremlin. Up to 760 horsepower. That's a huge amount of power. Where's the most? I guess the Twin was the most powerful car that's been around here. It's a 1,400, but it was very, very heavy. Let's not forget that. The Valiant Charger was just a smidge under 1,000, but a lot lighter. By the looks of it, this is going to be the most powerful, the second most powerful, certainly the highest power to weight ratio. This is going to be a monster. We are over 1,000 horsepower. I think I have all of these bits on. I might just go for lightness with the rest of the parts. Sure. We have built a very, very dangerous car. in this Gremlin. Can we get driveline on? Yep, we can go to that stage, sure. 1,038 horsepower, 900 torque in a car that weighs less than 2,500 pounds. That is monstrous. I mean, it's almost twice the power to weight ratio, not quite, of the twin mill, but not that far off. We have got big tyres, and we are certainly going to need them. It'll be a mighty fast vehicle in a straight line, but getting this around the corners is not going to be easy. Well, perhaps one of our craziest vehicles in this series, probably since the Ford Deluxe ran around here, is, well, just about ready. I think the car's ready, I'm not sure I am, to complete 5 laps at the Skyscraper takeoff circuit. My target time, 1:33.7, I'm pretty sure that's safe. I don't think the BMW is going to have much issues with beating the Gremlin. I mean, the Ford Deluxe is at a 38.1, the Valiant Charger is a 36.8. That's kind of where I am expecting to see the Gremlin end up. It may have more control than I am, expecting here, but I'm not holding out too much hope for that. The plus side, of course, for this vehicle is the straight line speed will be tremendous. The acceleration should be fantastic, but many cornering related issues are going, I suspect, to befool this car. We've got no turning whatsoever up the top of the course there. Now, I think we're going to have issues here. Yeah, it's that crest that's going to throw this car out of contention, heading around there. Well, potentially at least. And I don't even think we can be flat out. No, we don't even have the grip to be flat out there anyway. Now, that's no fun. That's no fun at all in this. The fastest we've been seeing recently, about 170 miles an hour coming into this braking zone. How quick can the Gremlin go? It's 172 before I got on the brakes. So it's a couple of miles an hour faster, but the brakes aren't great in this, so we are having to brake earlier. We can't carry as much speed through the corner previous. We may well see a record in terms of straight line speed around the big loop, on the downward slope on that. If we can get 240 out of this car, that'd be pretty damn good going. If anything can do it, it's probably going to be this one, as we're going to launch it across the boost pads and hit the next one. Okay, so the gearing in the car, a little bit long on the old gears, but never mind, we're fine. It's going to be 227 miles an hour, but we might just pull it up in time. Only just, mind, with the Gremlin, but that's tremendous straight line speed. A 39.3 on an opening lap. I mean, okay, yeah, it's not going to be up there competing with the BMW. We're 3 seconds down on the BMW's opening lap, but we were never expecting it to. So maybe there is potential with a good lap. Maybe there is potential for the Gremlin to run, a half decent time. That understeer is just so chronic on the run up there. I say it's so chronic. It's what we've seen from the less handling orientated cars. They just can't get the front end turned in. We are actually not too terrible through there. We had to slither and slide our way through the next turn. Perhaps not. In the Gremlin, it's got a little bit more traction than I was kind of initially expecting. That time 177 miles an hour. As I get the hang of the car, find where we can make up speed. Oh, we got to spin the wheels up. I thought we might get away with going to full throttle a little sooner there than we actually can. Can't dive into that corner with anywhere. We've had so many cars run into that corner being almost flat out and only need a tiny brake, and this thing is just going so quickly when it hits it. It's crazy. Right, boost pads. So for this car, it seems 5th gear is the best one to run across the boost pads with. So we keep it in 5th all the way up around this loop, and then we change to 6th as we come down the loop. It's actually working out very, very nicely for the Gremlin. And the longer gears will probably help to an extent with the wheel spin. That much is for sure. The longer gears and big rear tyres are good for helping with wheel spin. It's a 35. It's a 35.6 from the Gremlin. That's an impressive lap time. That is faster than I was expecting in many ways. but then perhaps it is a bit more controlled than you might think. 1,000 horsepower V10 in I say a complete and utter lemon. It was perhaps not the most lemon of the lemon cars, but still, Gremlin not exactly an amazing vehicle to begin with. An interesting looking one and everything, but certainly wasn't an amazing car to begin with. But put a V10 in it, and it, well, it certainly turns into something quite lively, but surprisingly fast and, well, surprisingly controllable, or perhaps not the words I was expecting to be uttering, really, when taking this around the course. Now we've got to be in third gear. Oh, it's all gone terrible. As I say that, we end up completely screwing up the crossover section. That's not so much the car's fault there. That was some just poor driving from me. So don't run into this corner quite so fast, because, well, we know we can't take it. Just run around in third, try and jump on that power on the exit, use the 1,000 horsepower and the many torque up towards the boost pad. Then we let the boost pad do a lot of the work across here. We're a little bit twisted, not quite as good a run. We're having to try and correct because we were slightly aiming towards the wall. We still keep it above 200 miles an hour all the way around the loop up into that 6th gear for the 227 miles an hour once more. Nothing's really quite able to get much more than the 220-ish mark. I did have a look. The Valiant Charger was the low 220s, so this will probably be the fastest car in a straight line, but it's only fractionally. We're not seeing 230 or 240 out of that section. Admittedly, it is, once you've gone around the loop, it is a relatively small acceleration zone out the other side. We've got that turn all wrong, and then trying to get on the power a smidge sooner, and this just bursts into wheel spin in the Gremlin. I don't have the steering, and the crest actually on the title line there is not going to work, because we can be flat here and we can't be on the title line. Although I say that, and we were big wiggle from our Gremlin. Don't hit the wall through there. It's not fun through that next corner. The understeer and oversteer all at once acting to try and throw your car in the wall, but if you're a bit careful, you can get away with it. 177 miles an hour. Still can't quite crack 180 down there, but we are... Oh god, big kick of oversteer. Didn't want to really go second gear, I don't think. If we can run third through there, it's probably the way to be going. Likewise in here, we've seen cars coming out in fall, and we're not as quick through the corners, but it kind of doesn't matter in some respects, because we can get so much acceleration on the way out that nothing else quite has. This might not go well. Oh, surprisingly, we survived. Things like the Eclipse and so on, you can get away with some really big wonky moments across the boost pads. They have the grip to do it. I thought this would get fired off into the scenery because, well, it quite plainly doesn't have the grip. Well, I say it quite plainly doesn't have the grip. It got away with that wiggle, so that's certainly something as we come up across the line. No faster lap as of yet, and this is going to be the final opportunity to go quicker than a 35.6. If we can stop with the wheel spin, might just work. Oh, kick of oversteer mid-corner. Not what you want in the cars. We get away with it. It's not the worst in terms of oversteeriness, which is quite interesting. It's kind of manageable. It's just you lost that fraction of time, especially as we're jumping over these little rises, and we're going to do a similar thing through there. Still keeping it above 120. Through there. Third gear, going to work out of here. Yeah, this got a long corner. We can get away. Get that drive. Can we get 180 miles an hour before getting on the brakes? No, I daren't do it. We could hit 180 miles an hour before we get to that corner, but we would never, ever get stopped in time to make the turn. So 178 is going to have to do. We had a small scrape on the way through, but only minor. Hasn't dirtied the lap and hasn't really affected the lap time whatsoever. Right, we've just got a couple more quarters to go. We've got the boost pads, we've got the big looping turn. Oh, it's not a good fire off of that one, sadly. We're a couple of miles an hour down around the loop. Can we make up time, though, into the final quarter? It's a couple of miles an hour down in the loop. It's there's 1 mile an hour difference at the bottom of the hill. Oh, try and get on that power. Oh, we got a bit quicker, but only fractionally. 35.5 from the Gremlin is a quicker time than I was expecting. in a car that was more controllable than I was expecting as well. You know, give the vehicle credit. It was oversteery and it was wanting to spin the wheels up a lot, but it could have been a hell of a lot more difficult. I'm very glad we had 305s at the rear. Had we had the sort of 265s I was expecting, I have no doubt this would be, well, horrendous. But we had just about enough rear grip, just about enough rear traction to get away with it. And of course, tremendous acceleration and straight line speed at the few opportunities we had to use it. That time will put the car up into 7th place. It actually displaces the Alfa Romeo 4C. It is 0.3 down on the Dodge Dart. It's only half a second down on the Civic Type R and the 911 GT2. The Alfa Romeo was, struggling straight line speed, great through the corners, but did not have anywhere near the straight line speed to fight with the Gremlin. So yeah, a bit of a turn up for the books. I went to use a silly car, and it actually turned out not to be too terrible. Still, a fair way off that BMW, but turned out to be nowhere near as terrible as the stats and the idea would suggest. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.